In the past, I've suffered with depression and I have ongoing anxiety.
I've had bouts of mental bad health, things like depression, anxiety, stress.
I was diagnosed with severe anxiety about a year ago.
I've previously suffered with anxiety and depression.
I was diagnosed in 1991 with clinical depression.
I was diagnosed with complex PTSD.
Have suffered from postnatal depression and depression in the past.
I have been trying to put myself out there a little bit more, and it's absolutely terrifying, and I feel sick. So before I meet new people, before I go on dates, before I do anything really, I try to do it. I feel really awful for like the first half an hour, but then actually it's almost like a sense of achievement that I've really done something that is a big deal for me. And I come away from it feeling you get like this sort of instant gratification, like, wow, I've done something really good. You have to put yourself out there, because otherwise you'll just shrink into, you'll become your mental health condition and let it control your entire life, whereas you just need to manage it the best you can.
Open up and talk to people, whoever they might be, whoever's good for you to talk to, friends, families. Sometimes actually go and see a professional, go and see someone who actually you have no connection with. That's something I did do once. Without opening up, you're not necessarily going to be able to sort of get to the right place.
I train 4 to 6 times a week in Muay Thai, and I've been doing that from pretty much about the same time that I was diagnosed. I also try to meditate every day. I know that helps me to manage it when I'm feeling overwhelmed, and it helps to distract my mind and kind of bring me back to myself.
When I opened up to my parents, my mum told me that she suffered with depression when I was 1 or 2 years old for a few months. And then my dad, he said he had it when he was sort of early 30s or something like that. And I've since found out that in my closest circle of friends, about 4 of the 7 had similar episodes. If I didn't open up about it at the time, I don't know what would have happened. I think I was just spiralling downwards, to be honest. It just wasn't a good place to be in. And I think that's what helped to open up and move forward, I guess, because you can't just sit and suffer through it alone.
I found for many years running was brilliant. So I ran. And it helped me to kind of get used to what was going on in my mind. And as I ran, by the end of the run, my mind was in a very different place.
If we don't talk about it, we're not managing it, and people that are left to deal with it on their own don't cope well, and it builds up and builds up to crisis point where they actually go off work sick.
Really important to know that whatever mental illness you have, it's part of you, makes you you and makes you unique. But it doesn't have to be overwhelming, and it doesn't have to stop you living. You just have to recognize when things aren't working and kind of put out your hand in whatever way you can.
Hi everyone, my name is Kimberley Chambers, and today for my presentation I'll be talking about mental health in the workplace. To start off, I'll give you an overview about what mental health is, who it affects, the effects on an individual, the benefits of implementing mental health workplace strategies, and I will be talking also about the strategies that individuals as well as workplaces can implement to help better their lives and their workplaces. And then I'll be finishing off with what support is actually available. Hi everyone, my name is Kimberley So, what is mental health? Well, according to the World Health Organization, however, mental health is a state of well-being which every individual realize his or her own potential, can cope with the normal stresses of life, can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to her or his community. Mental health can affect the elderly, young people, men and women, parents during pregnancy, people from different backgrounds, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, lesbian, gay, bi, trans, intersex, bodily, gender, and sexual diverse people. Mental health can affect anyone at any stage of their life. The effects of mental health on an individual can be long-lasting and can impact a person's ability to function in everyday life. Mental health can affect relationships, a person's physical health, can increase fatigue, which then leads to an increase in cognitive ability. Mental health also increases premature death from suicide. It is an employer's responsibility to ensure employees are provided with a working environment that is safe and without risk to health. Not only do mentally healthy workplaces improve the overall quality of life for its employees, they promote positivity, engagement, and motivation. Mentally healthy workplaces tend to retain and attract top talent as they are places that people want to work. As morale is increased, so does productivity. It has also been found that mentally healthy workplaces also reduce the risk of incidents and accidents as employees' cognitive and functionability is increased. There have been several strategies found to help reduce the effects of mental health. One that I personally know that affects my mental state is a lack of sleep and exercise. When I'm not exercising or sleeping right, I find that my stress levels are higher and I'm more on edge. It is extremely easier for me to get frustrated and I tend to make more mistakes. Alongside exercise, eating a balanced diet will help combat food mood connection. Food mood connection is when the food choices you make affect your mood and your mental health. Studies have revealed that people who don't have a healthy diet were more likely to report symptoms of depression or other mental health issues. Social isolation is a trigger for mental health also. Therefore, building good personal relationships and social connections is very important. Volunteering is a great way of becoming social and will also help improve self-perception. The best thing to do when you're feeling down and out is to speak to someone, a close friend, a relative, a colleague, or even a service provider. Implementing strategies within the workplace is a beneficial return on investment because the cost of implementing programs and initiatives return twofold. As we've discussed in one of the previous slides, workplaces benefit considerably from being mentally healthy. For myself, a work-life balance is very important. Having the time to spend with your children or family, to complete a task, or just to rest really impacts how you perform at work. I think promoting mental health in the workplace is very important. However, it must be consistent messaging that employees find beneficial to themselves. I think that through promotion, people feel more comfortable to talk about their issues because relationships have been formed. This goes without saying that strength comes from knowledge and that knowledge is power. I've included several resources that might be utilised to seek additional information about mental health and encourage anyone that is feeling down or knows someone that is finding things a little hard at the moment to seek help. Thanks again for watching and listening. If there's any questions, please pop them in the comments section below. Thanks.